Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna make a resin bowl. I use Nick Pro resin. It is very light and it gives me about 40 minutes of work time, so it makes it easy for all the little quirks that I have. I do 2 of the little paper cups that I have, especially for my bowls, because I don't want to do too much. I do it twice, mostly because I don't want to use a bigger cup to measure. And by the way, Nick Pro is by volume, not by weight, which is why I'm not measuring it. I'm just using the same cup to do my part A and my part B. Now it all depends on the type of resin that you're using. Mine needs at least 5 minutes of mixing, so I'm gonna speed up the mixing because the whole 5 minutes I have to speed up. It does take a while. I switch hands when one gets tired and then just get right back to it, and I just keep switching back and forth until I don't see any streaks. I will scrape the sides and the sides of my mixer to see if there's any streaks. If there are any streaks, that means I need to keep mixing. If you see streaks in your resin, it means that it's not mixed well. You need to keep mixing until you do not see any more streaks. I'm gonna do it again just to see if there are any more streaks, and at this point I'm up to my 5 minutes and I think I don't see any more streaks, so I should be done. My mold is about 10 inches. I believe it's not so big. Maybe even less than 10 inches. I can't remember. And I reuse all my cups. I try to clean them up as soon as I'm done. That way I can reuse it, you know, less waste. And I am splitting my resin into half because I'm going to be using my gold flakes and a mica powder. I do have bubbles in my resin, but because I'll be mixing it up with the mica and the gold flakes, I'm not gonna wait for it to decant. I'm just gonna directly put it in, mostly because the mica powder takes a while to mix. So while I'm mixing it, it's at the same time I'm decanting the bubbles. Now I use a lot of the mica, especially for this project, because what I wanted to do, um, I wanted to make some swirls. You see it later in the video, but I do use a lot of mica powder in here. The more mica powder you use, the more slightly opaque it is. Mica powder is not completely opaque. It's not meant for that. It's more of the shimmer characteristics that people look for. So if you need a more opaque color or opaque density, you would have to add like a resin pigment or something like that to it. Now at this point, I'm just gonna wait for the mica that's not the powder that hasn't mixed well to rise to the top, and that's mostly what most people forget. It's that it takes a while for mica powder to mix with resin. So you need to be patient with it. You need to just keep mixing. Don't mix too fast, otherwise you're gonna create heat, and that's gonna flash cure. So you don't want to mix too fast. Just leave it, let it sit for a minute, and then while the other powders rise to the top. I did get these gold flakes from Amazon, which I'm gonna try to link in the description. They have been great. It's so much different, and the quality is different than the normal gold flakes or gold foil that you get with with resin. It comes in these little square sheets. um I can't remember how many there is, but when I bought it in the pack, I had silver sheets, rose gold sheets, and the regular gold sheets. Another reason also that I don't let my uh, resin decant when I'm mixing with gold flakes is that gold flakes also produce bubbles. So if I let it decant, or if I let the bubbles evaporate and then I put in the gold flakes, I'm still gonna create more bubbles. So I rather just put the gold flakes in and just wait for all the bubbles to just evaporate altogether while I let everything sit for a minute. I'm gonna mix the mica powder resin again. As you can see, whatever the design little dot that you see at the top, that means that all the powder that hasn't mixed well has risen up. So I'm gonna mix it one more time and let it sit, and then try again and see if any more dry powder rises up. And at this point, I think it should be good. I couldn't really show it in the video, but everything that came up was pretty clear and already mixed up. So as you can see, there's no clumps of powder anywhere, which is what you're looking for. That's the consistency that you're looking for. and most of my bubbles in the Gold Flakes ones has also decanted. So I'm gonna spray my mold with some 99% isopropyl propyl alcohol. I don't know how to say that. Then I'm just gonna pour. I'm doing it side by side with the gold and the blue in the middle. And if you have watched till this far, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, that anytime that I post something, you will get a notification. I am new to building up my YouTube channel, so forgive me if I make any mistakes, and if you have any questions at all, don't forget to post in the comments. I'm going to try to link all the products that I'm using in the description. If I don't, or if you have any questions about the products that I'm using, please don't be afraid to just ask me in the comments, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Now it's pretty much filled up to where I want it to be. I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. My resin loves heat gun. Not all resin loves heat gun. So please be careful, especially with your mold. Try to move it around a lot. I use a combination of the heat gun and my alcohol spray to get rid of any bubbles that may rise up. And here we are, all done. I'm gonna come back the next day. This is just showing what I'm gonna leave. I did come back to do some swirls. As you can see, I came back like maybe an hour later to do the swirls. It's not perfect, it's not what I wanted, but it looks good. So I am gonna mold it into a bowl. I got my little plastic bowl, and I'm just gonna, this took me a minute because the actual bowl would have fit this plastic bowl, like the little resin that I made. This would have fit the plastic bowl, but I wanted the little curves and ridges. So it took me, you're gonna see me struggling with it. It took me a minute to just kind of try to get the little curves and grooves that I wanted in it. I didn't want it to just lay flat into a bowl, or like all around. I hope you get what I mean. But it's gonna take me a minute to do all that, so be patient with it. I'm gonna speed up through some of these. Now I could have probably just switched out the bowls that I'm using to form this, but I didn't have anything smaller, so this worked out with putting bottles everywhere. Came back the next day to see it was already cured, and just took everything out. Just try to make sure that it wasn't gonna fall back into shape, fall back out of shape. And it looked good. Now I'm gonna go over the edges with some gold acrylic markers. Um, this is an antique gold, I believe. It gave me, I had to go over it twice because my pen was running out. So I went over it twice, and thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'm going to try to get better at doing the swirls. But I appreciated you being here and watching it throughout. Thank you. You have a good day.